Hey everybody, T-Virus, we're back again. Got a new video coming for you. So we're revisiting Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I know if you've seen some of my older videos, you've seen the match videos, combo stuff like that. So this video is going to be a little tutorial about the 2.80 update that happened Thursday. So there's some minor tweaks to a couple of characters. Lil Wayne got buffed for some reason. Catalina, I think she got hit a little bit. Just a few, not a full roster change, but the main focus of the patch was the addition of 3 new mechanics, which is the rush, I call it retreat, backdash, or backshift, and overdrive. So we're gonna touch on the basics on each one, and then go into a little bit of what you can do with it. Probably it might be a little bit more particular to Charlotta, but it can at least give you an idea of avenues to pursue and applications with your own characters, whoever you may play. All right, so we're going to start off with the rush, and probably well, I wouldn't say the strongest, because like I said, I haven't really had much time to mess with overdrive. I've really been focusing on that, and getting the rust, knocking the rust off, because I've been off the game for a minute. But yeah, so the way you do the rush is you do forward and L2, which is the manual version for overhead. I do overhead with medium heavy, but you can do overhead that way. The problem is, if you try to do them both at the same, you have to be really tight on it, because if not, that will come out. You don't want to whip that in front of somebody and and get blown up. So I know a way you can do it to make it more consistent, and it's something for me. You might be a little bit more better. My execution isn't the best, but what I do is you can slide and put it. You can tap forward and L2. Or same thing with backshift. You can just you can also do it with overdrive, but we'll get to that later. So the main attribute of the rush down is that it's fully invulnerable except for fireballs. And yes, you're probably as disappointed as I am when I read it, and I'm like, really? Still lose the fireballs? Really? But it's still very good, because what it does is it allows you to steal turns back, or to keep pressure, to keep a turn. So what happens is when you do it, when the opponent, as it doesn't happen, but once you get like within close auto, the range for the close auto combos, like it does, and it does it for everybody. When you get in that proximity, it gives it to an automatic auto attack, which is the last 2 hits of like the close B. Like if you see Charlotta's BBB, you notice the second and third hit. Now you see second, third hit again. And that's that for everybody. I've looked around. I didn't do every castman, but I did like probably around half, and they all are like that. So there's no other options out of that. You do it, you either dash forward and nothing happens, or you dash forward and you get close enough and the move comes out, and it's fully invulnerable. Okay, so on block, you are plus frames. You're plus frames. If you watch this, of course, it doesn't mean you can just do whatever goofy move you want to. You still have to play the frame game. You're just the plus. On hit, it knocks them away. Not a hard knockdown. It would be silly if it was a hard knockdown. It'd be a little bit too strong. But it's a way for you can still. You can still dash and do stuff. You can't force a mix up, but you can still get some pressure. And like I said, it's a way to steal turns back, because you can combo into it. you can combo out of it, but it's kind of weird how that works. So let's say I do let's see, first hit, let's change this, and I'll do well, that's actually one combo. All right. Oops. Really? All right. Okay. So what I'm getting at is, let's say you have a situation like Charlotta's 2-on-4C on block, and you know, it's kind of something I wouldn't suggest, but you know, you've probably seen Charlotta players do, you know, that and then into that right there. You know, she can be hit, so let's put it on oops, let's put it on standing light. That should beat it. Okay, well, all right, so anyways, what happens is, on block, that's not real. So you may have someone do, depending on like, depending on who it is, like if it's, actually, let's go to character select, shall we? Give you an actual visual example instead of just telling you. I'd rather show you as well. Like Catalina's a really good Catalina's a really good example to use for stuff like that because of her standing B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, but I'm going to have her react on counter with her 5B. You know, her 5B is, if you play Charlotta, or you know, any character who doesn't have like a fireball or something like that, like Ladiva, Soriz, you know the pain of dealing with this. A halfway decent Catalina. All right, so let's make sure standing medium, blocks all. All right. Okay, well, so what happens is you should be able to see how it hits me if I try to do 5C or something slow. She could be beat out because it's not real. So what you can do, if you think they're going to do that, or 2C or whatever, something like that, something that you know can be beat out, you can, you know, do that to keep pressure. Not the best application, but it's an option. Another way you can use this is a defensive way. So if you know that opponents like to do, like for instance, Catalina here, you know, 5B fireball, 5B fireball. You know, if you know she does 5B fireball and then she does another 5B, you can blow that up. So there's defensive and offensive options with it. So, all right. So let's look at, I'm gonna hop in, you know, show you how combos work with it, and it's kind of limited. You know, I was kind of disappointed, but when I actually really thought about it, if you know, you could just really, if this game opened up combos the way this damage is, you would just get hit and just get carried to the wall and you die. So the way it works is you can combo into it and you can combo out of the rush, but it's treated like a normal, because you see how she does the BB, it's treated just like that. So you obviously can't do special into it, and it's really weird. Like, you see what happens there? If you can combo out of it into specials, but for whatever reason, and you have to combo into it to be able to combo out of it. Like, all right, so let me do this again. See, that didn't work. She's able to recover and hit me. Now let's see when I'll do auto combo into the rush into Charlotta Ball. See, it's really weird. I don't know why that is. It's just something it's universal. So there's some combo applications like but for the most part I don't think it's worth it, because you're giving up half a meter for two hits to drive up your hit scaling. So I really don't think it's worth it. I mean, there's some applications like for instance, oops, so she gets damage off of that, but it's there. So I mean, like in that situation, Charlotta might want to use it. And but there's that, and you can come off out of it, but like I said, it has to be a special, because it's treated like a normal. It's treated like you do, instead of you doing a 3-hit auto combo, you're doing a 5-hit auto combo. So like, let's see what we can do in the corner. Say I do auto combo. You can do like auto combo rush, rush, close B, Charlotta Ball, hit again, do close B, rush, do the second rush, and then do whatever special after. I don't think it's worth it, because if you're just going to blow meteor in, just combo in the super skybound. So like I said, I don't think it's worth looking into, because it may give you some combo routes, like an optimal route for mid-screen. I think it's more worth it mid-screen, because there's ways, for you to extend combos, because there's certain characters that don't really get much damage mid-screen, like Percival. Rest in peace to that man. But yeah, I think, particularly like with characters like Charlotta, Suarez, stuff like that, Lowain, they're going to get more for the buck out of mid-screen footsie applications and stuff like that. Particularly Charlotta, because this gives her an option to deal with characters like Catalina, I'm just gonna make you deal with this wall of stuff. Granted, they have fireballs, but it means that she can't just randomly throw out a 5B. Particularly if she knows that if it hits, she's in the corner. You just don't want Charlotta in your face when you're in the corner. You can't backdash and stuff like that, and you can't throw out lunges or things like that. So like, for example, like her, will force more mix up, back throw, wait a bit, do with that. And it also, if they do a DP, you'll go through each other, but you still won't, get hit. So if they do that DP, depending on the animation, how late they do it, stuff like that, the second hit still might clip them. So you still might be able to get some reward for it. But I think it gives it an extra layer, because it's a way for you to, all right, let me keep that pressure and not deal with anything, because no one's going to do wake up fireball. And if they do, then, you shouldn't be losing to them anyways. So the layers, you shouldn't have to get that deep with the mix. But yeah, there's other things you can do. Let's see. Let's put it on blocks. Stuff like instances like that where you're on block but you're unsafe. That's another good application for it. And if they do something to check you, you can check them. Granted, then they can. They'll probably DP, because if they block, you're still plus, so you still have your turn. So you can use that once or twice to condition them to, all right, I'm gonna just DP, instead, or just chuck a fireball. And you can mix that up to, you think they're gonna chuck a fireball, just do regular dash, or Charlotta's case, parry. All right, so I think that's enough for that, as far as like the basics. Like I said, there's other mix-ups, that I've looked into that's specific for her. So I'll probably be maybe next week probably do a more in-depth video, just breaking down the stuff I found, you know, options, routes. So we're gonna go into the second mechanic, and that is the back shift. Not really too much to say. It's just, you know, a backdash option. Pretty sure it's completely invulnerable on startup probably from frame 0. I know that you can punish him out of that. As you see, the color how she goes and then comes back to red, so you can get hit out of that. So if someone like Dash is like, say if Cat here, if I know Cat's going to do that to get me out of my face, I can show a lot of ball and probably hit her right out of it, you know. And if she near a wall bounce, boom, and, you know, she spent half a meter just to eat a super anyways. So it's not infallible. It's still pretty strong for characters like Matera, who has really good movement options anyways. You know, and I was kind of messing with her last night, just out of curiosity. I need to pick a character that would have more reasons to use that, because Charlotte's probably not gonna be using back shift outside of situations where she just has to get the opponent out of her face. And Matera, you know, she backdashes out, you know, she can immediately do slide, fireball, or her special attack, her D, you know, the auto jump, you know, so, and it puts her in perfect range for jumping B, all those things. So it has its application. I think it's a little bit more character specific than the auto rush, because the auto rush is just, man, you rush forward, steal your turn, and you're plus frames. Everybody's gonna need that. Charlotta's not going to particularly be using this much. Same thing with Soriez or like Matera, Yule, other characters like that who wants to stay in your face. Like I said, fully invulnerable, except at the tail end. But it's like I said, it's still a useful defensive tool, and there, you can never have enough defensive tools, in my opinion. But like I said, not really too much to talk about that. All right, so now we're gonna go to the third and final of the mechanics, overdrive. So you do overdrive by tapping R2, L2, and you know, like I said, that's me doing it at the same time. It's really weird. So I just slide and put R2 and then hold it and then do L2. So boom. All right, so what it is fully invulnerable. It stops. I'll show you. Let's put her jumping. It freezes the game. Boom. Gets a hit, does like 1,500. I think like 1,000. It's 1,000 damage. It has like an explosion. Granted, you can get hit after that explosion. I've done it plenty of times. I've seen somebody activate it like in my face, and I'm just like, thank you for that free 5C, my friend. You know, hold this 85%. So so what happens is you do that burst. It's like a burst attack. It knocks him back. If it hits, you know, it knocks him back. It's not a hard knockdown. On block. Okay, put it back on crouch. On block. Block's off. Oops, there we go. On block, boom. You can't really, it's not enough to where you can like do some kind of crazy guard break stuff, but they still have to sit there and guess what you're about to do. So when you do that, so what it does is, let's take this off of, doesn't block. First things first, of course, it does more damage. So I'll do the normals. 400, 700, 1,200, all right? And of course, you can look by comparison. 500, 875, 1,500, pretty good. So we'll also look at, let's look at 1,000, all right? Oops. 1,250. You know, so the damage is there. The damage is there. So that's one aspect of it. The only thing about it is it's not across the board. Like your super, Should be 3,500. If I go to overdrive, whoops, super, 3,500. You know, it would be crazy if her Skybound art got a damage buff. That would just be silly. So I understand why you can't do that. It's the same thing with throws. 1,500 for your throw. 1,500 still. And same thing for overhead. 1,000 for overhead. 1,000 for overhead. So the damage on a hit only applies to normals and specials. You know, throws not included, overhead not included. All right. So another thing that's about this is when you get hit, you lose your overdrive. So as you can see, it just stays there. It's pretty strong. And granted, if you do a super, you can still do your super after it, no matter how much bar you have. So if you got hit in like twice or whatever, you still have a sliver of red on there, you can still super. So that's really good. Another thing is when you're in overdrive, you lose access to your back shift and your rush. So you can't do that when you're in overdrive. All right, so I'll show you another thing, and I think this might be the biggest, one of the biggest things about overdrive is, let's see, counterattack options. Let's do, was it Frostblade? All right, there we go. All right. You notice that? I took 0 chip damage. 0 chip damage. And I think that's one of the biggest issues. One of the bigger deals about it is that you don't take chip damage. And against characters like Charlotta, Eustace, Matera, trying to think characters who really, Loane, you know, characters who can pile on hits. You know, we're just doing stuff, and then you gotta take some buttons in between all those. That's really strong, and that's a good tool you're gonna have. You know, so there's a time or two where I've activated OD to just not get chipped out, particularly with characters like Eustace. A friend of mine, he's looking into Eustace. He's trying to get back into the game, and he's looking into Eustace. He showed me like this clip of just like some chip stuff he can do. I'm just like, this is some MK9 Liu Kang nonsense. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. You know, so that's a good option. And another good option is activate overdrive when Loane does his Skybound. You know, when he brings out the goddess. So all that, like the lightning damage, that doesn't chip. So all you have to do is just, when it happens, you know, wait for her to do the first part, activate, you know, get the activation to blow through the first hit, and then just block the electricity, because that's where the chip damage goes, and spot dodge the orb, the rocks, and the fire. So if you're on the other side of the screen, the rocks won't hit you, and the orb, you might be able to just super jump that. You can super jump that, and if she does the lightning, you just hold back and you don't take chip damage. And the only thing you have to really worry about is the fire, which you can spot dodge. So you know, it has its strength. And another thing about it, you know, like I just said, normal's chip, like, you know, like just it's nothing crazy, but like with characters like Charlotta, who can just, you know, I hit you with a jump and be a jumping A, you have to block. I hit you with a 2A on block, you have to block. You know, you're still getting damage, and she's just swinging. So, you know, you don't want to just like get into that groove where you're just holding back, and blocking and blocking and blocking and blocking and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of it for just like a general overview. Like I said, you know, I got my notepad here on my PC, you know, and I'm looking looking through like the actual Charlotta applications, and I'll do that. And I'm actually probably going to do the video that I was asked to do 2 years ago, but I never did it because, you know, laziness, procrastination, which is to break down her parry and how it works, you know, stuff like that, and how you can beat it, and how, you know, and what she can do to you, how it works, and how you can beat it, which is, it's not hard, but it's still, she can use it to get out of a situation like that. But that's another video for another day. Just like always, guys, you know, like, comment, subscribe. You know how it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Any questions you may have about the content, this video, let me know. If I don't have the answer, I can definitely look it up, talk to other people. You know, Georgia's, that's where I'm from. You know, our Gary community is there. It's kind of under the scheme, but it's there. So you know, yeah, and then, you know, we've got social media. I'm part of the Discord family, so I can definitely get you an answer for even if it's something related to another character. I can go hit the Discord, ask them for it, you know. So yeah, just feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, you know, just like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.